Hello everyone, welcome again. So I am Arjun ST, Assistant Professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering at Rohini College of Engineering and Technology. Okay, so in this video, we are going to discuss about the general introduction about the third unit, unit number 3 of automotive systems. Okay, so the unit number 3, the name is the transmission system. That is the movement of vehicles. Okay, the major components which are used for the propulsion of vehicles. Okay, that is the transmission system. In the transmission system unit, we will discuss in detail about the different types of clutch, the construction of those clutches, and the different types of gearboxes. Okay, the manual gearbox, automatic gearbox, the gear shifting mechanism. Okay, and we'll discuss about overdrive, transfer box, fluid flywheel, torque converter, the propeller shafts. The propeller shaft, that is the component which is used for transmitting the power to the rear wheels, the propeller shaft. The slip joints, the major component which is provided in the propeller shaft, as well as the universal joints, that is also the important component in the propeller shaft, because when the vehicle is moving, our surface is not an even surface. Okay, there will be an uneven surface. When the vehicle's both front wheels are at an speed breaker in a upper surface or in a irregular surface in the lower area, the vehicle's entire the component's entire length, which means the propeller shaft's length, will tend to alter. It will tend to extend as well as contract. Okay, so when a propeller shaft is given as a rigid component, due to the vibration or the due to the uneven surface, the propeller shaft will tend to break. So that's why an important idea was given to the propeller shaft by the use of slip joints as well as universal joints. The slip joints will allow the propeller shaft to alter its length, and the universal joints will allow the propeller shaft to alter its angle. So that is the important thing. And after that, we'll be discussing about the drive systems. Okay, and in the drive systems in the rear axle, and finally we'll be discussing about the different types of differentials. Okay, the wheels and tires. Okay, in the wheels, so what are the different types of wheels we have? And metal, normal conventional wheel and alloy wheels. What is the difference between the normal conventional wheels and alloy wheels? What is the advantage? There is a major advantage to the alloy wheels, because while running we will be applying brakes and huge amount of heat will be produced. The same way, while running, that the rubber component in the tires will get heated, as well as the metal frame of the wheels will also get heated. Okay, so the metal frame will give the heat evenly to the tires also. So due to that, some bursting of tires may occur. But the alloys, the different important advantage of alloy wheels, not only the looks, not only the styles, the major principal role which the alloy wheels play is that the alloys will get the heat from the tires, and it will efficiently disperse the heat to the atmosphere. It will efficiently disperse the heat to the atmosphere. For example, a simple thing I will tell you. In a conventional rim wheel, when you travel to a kilometer of 100 kilometers, when you touch the rim, you can't touch it, and when you touch the tires will be of huge amount of heat will be felt in the tires. Okay, now drive the same distance with an alloy wheels. Okay, you can touch the tires, but the heat will be too low. Okay, and the alloy, when you touch the alloy, the alloy will be get heated, but not to a huge extent. Okay, the alloys will efficiently dissipate the heat to the atmosphere. Okay, and the tires, you all know nowadays we are having different types of tires. Okay, so everything will be discussed in detail about the all the components, all the important components in the transmission system. In the upcoming videos we'll be having specific videos for specific topics, so stay tuned. And the course outcome It distinguishes the working of different components of the transmission system. Okay, after successful completion of the unit number 3, students can distinguish the different workings of different components which are present in the transmission system. Right. Now the first thing is clutch. We have different types of clutch. We have single plate clutch, multi plate clutch, wet clutch, dry clutch, cone clutch, diaphragm clutch. So likewise we are having different number of clutch. Okay, what is the use of clutch? It will temporarily connect as well as disconnect the power flow. Okay, so this is the blue color component. This is the flywheel and this is the clutch area. Okay, the clutch will engage and disengage the transmission system. Okay, when the clutch gets engaged, the power flow will be stopped. When the clutch gets disengaged, the power flow will continue. Okay, it will temporarily connect and disconnects the power flow. Okay, that is the major role of the clutch. When you need to change the gear, we'll be using the clutch pedal. Okay, that is the main use of clutch. The main operation of clutch is that when the clutch pedal, this is the clutch pedal, the pink area, when the clutch pedal is pressed, that is when the clutch is engaged. Okay, when the clutch is engaged, you can see this is the pressure plate, here this is the line is the clutch plate, and these two areas is the friction plate. Okay, and when the clutch is engaged, okay, the clutch pedal will pull the driven shaft in a backward direction. At that time, okay, the spring gets contracted. The spring gets contracted and the pressure plate, this pressure plate is pulled back. Okay, this pressure plate is pulled back due to the splines which are present in the driven shaft. Okay, this is the driven shaft, these are the splines. Okay, due to the splines present in the driven shaft, the clutch plate as well as the friction plate will also pulled backwards, or else it will move to its original position. Okay, will move to its original position. Okay, so this is how the clutch is engaged and the power flow will get stopped. Okay, power flow will get stopped and we can change to the desired gear, and after that the clutch will get disengaged. Okay, clutch will get disengaged. At that time, okay, the springs will extend and the pressure plate will push the clutch plate as well as the friction plate to uh, move forward and gets attached to the flywheel. At that time the power flow will continue. Okay, this is the basic operation of the clutch. Okay, and the different types of clutch and different types of operation performed by the different types of clutches will be explained in the upcoming videos. And then gearbox. In gearbox also we are having different types of gearbox. um, Manual and automatic is a common type. Okay, we have sliding mesh gearbox, constant mesh gearbox, synchro mesh gearbox. Okay, like this we are having different types of gearboxes. The major role of the gearbox is to give the controlled output of the power. Controlled power output is produced by the gearbox. Okay, so that we can alter the gears for varying speeds. Okay, in this diagram I have given a constant mesh gearbox. Okay, this is the constant mesh gearbox. The different types of gearbox and its operation and its major roles and workings will be explained in the upcoming videos. So this is the differential. So differential is the major invention in an automobile, because consider an automobile without a differential. When a vehicle is taking a turn, okay, when a vehicle is turning, okay, you can see the inner radius will be small, the outer radius of the turning will be high. Okay, the inner radius of the turning will be small and outer radius of the turning will be large. Okay, so that in order to make a turn in a smooth perfect way, the vehicle which is following the inner radius will have to move a smaller distance, and the vehicle and the wheel which is traveling in the outer radius will have to move for a larger distance at a same time, so that the inner circle wheel has to rotate slower compared to the wheel rotating in the outer circle. So to make this possible, the differential has been invented. Okay, so how this is happening, how the differential satisfies that principle. So there are different types of differential also. So the working principle of the differential satisfying those conditions will be explained in the upcoming videos. So, and finally, tires. We know there are different types of tires: tube tire, tubeless tire. Okay, nowadays we all are using tubeless tires. Okay, so in that, for in a simple tire we are having different layers inside a tire. Okay, so as well as based on the thread, okay, based on the thread, the tires may vary: symmetrical thread, asymmetrical thread, b groove thread. Likewise, different thread is also present in the tires. Okay, so the each and every components of the tire, the different types of tire, the principle involved in the tube and tubeless tires, as well as the different types of threads present in the tires, and the process of the different types of thread will also be explained in the upcoming videos. Okay, so these are the sources of the images which I have used in this presentation. Okay, so we can I will catch you in the next video. So thank you.